first guest is an amazing storyteller. When it comes to advertising, she's worked with some of the biggest brands that you see on TV. So she knows how to weave a story and get us all sucked in to go buy the product because we see the ad on TV, radio, and everywhere else. So when we come back from this next message, we're going to welcome our first guest to the show. Hey, our first guest is here, Ellen Buchsbaum.
Let's just go with Buchsbaum. Yep, Buchsbaum. Good job.
Hey, so how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, and I just want to say you opened the show with saying that people aren't watching advertising, but I would say people are watching advertising, and they're taking note of how brands are reacting during COVID-19.
Absolutely. I will agree with you on, I have noticed some bigger brands do commercials where they're not advertising their brand to say, but their messages, we're here for you. We're going to help. We're taking care of our employees. And I like that. I'm not going to say the brand's name, but if you eat chips, you'll probably figure out who it was. I've seen it all over social the last few days, and I've really enjoyed their ads. But it's interesting you want to jump in on that topic. We've had other guests on the show who have talked about network TV. Our friends in the news side are actually hurting when it comes to the ad side. Record ratings, bad advertising. What is causing that? Because you're seeing that both the big networks that are controversial to networks are the ones that are talking the loudest about great ratings, not so good ads.
Well, it's a little hard for brands right now to know what to do. There's no playbook for how to advertising in a pandemic. So you can run the ads that you've been running, and then you might seem a little out of step with what's going on right now. You can revisit some of the ads of the past, which are some brands are doing right now. They're recutting ads or revisiting with older, previously known spokespeople, and then revitalizing them in a new way. Or you have ads that are really focused on the time now that we're living in with COVID and how the brands are reacting.
Absolutely. I mean, so it is interesting. Let's walk folks through how this works, right? When we talk about, if you don't mind, I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But advertising fascinates a lot of people because you don't realize it. If you've been on Earth for more than a minute, you've seen a commercial, you've been targeted by an ad. But explaining how it works with how these advertisers have had to really make a pivot in the last 8 weeks, the normal news cycle. Obviously, it's been weird, especially for the news side of the house. If you got to think about it, we started 2020. I think 2020 was just doomed from the beginning. We started off with the embassy. Of course, we were in the middle of the impeachment. We're in year number, 4 of the Trump administration.
40.
And then we got hit with a pandemic that everybody, including our White House, basically told us wasn't going to be that bad.
Yeah.
Someone did stand up on a stage and said only 15 people have it. We're huge. We're great. We're in America. We'll beat it. It'll go from 15 to 5. Yeah. 78,000 people dead later. Oopsie, that number was a little wrong.
Yeah.
Stick to reality TV is what we should tell some people, and not Twitter. But that's my own side note on certain topics. But I mean, how do advertisers, how do they pivot from this? Obviously, they can't even film new commercials unless they're doing it at home.
Well, so you bring up a really good point. So there's a few things to unpack here. So one of them is how they pivot is if you think about advertising, it is a reflection of what's going on today. It's really a mirror to what's going on in society and culture. So if you were to ask me what's advertising going to be like in 2 years, I would say I don't know because we don't know what's going to be in our world in the next 2 years either. But I can tell you right now and in the foreseeable future, advertising is a lot of brands, and I know because I'm working on some, where we're rethinking things that are on air now and recutting them to maybe not have groups of people at a restaurant or groups of people in a backyard together or inside at a house. We're having our ads have the same message that they've had. And a lot of brands are doing this, but recutting them so they're being mindful of the social distancing that we're being asked to do for our own safety. So that's one thing that we're doing. We're looking at previous brands are looking at previous spots that they've done and maybe bringing back some beloved characters like AT&T's bringing back Lily, and she's now working from home. And that's a way of showing that this is reflecting what's going on in society right now. So Budweiser also did it with the What's Up Guys. So maybe some of the younger viewers don't know what that is. but they're bringing back some iconic characters, and then they're showing how they're social distancing but still staying in touch. So again, it's a reflection of what's going on right now, and that's what some really strong, good advertising is doing to help their brands and sell their products, which still needs to be done. A lot of people cut ad revenue and ad budget during difficult times, but brands that stay relevant during difficult times are more relevant after. They've been there all along.
So let me ask you, if you remember back in November, small company that a lot of people love today. I'm proud to be a user of Peloton, right? Peloton was just destroyed in November, right? Oh, they're sexist and you're just like, well, clearly you've never ridden in a Peloton class because 98% of the instructors are awesome women, and there's like 5 male instructors. They're all awesome. Don't get me wrong. I mean, just this Saturday, it shows the power of people bash on Peloton, but Saturday at 10 a.m., there was a last dance class, which was for the Michael Jordan documentary, sponsored by ESPN, that Alex Trezant did. 21,000 people attended. I was one of them, and so many of my friends were in this. It was amazing. 21,000 people on a Saturday got together and rode for 30 minutes. So, how do you see that now? Like, Peloton was vilified in November, but their stock is up almost 40% today.
Well, one person's great ad is another person's great miss. So if you're sitting on the sidelines and you're being an armchair quarterback, watching the Super Bowl, and which is something I do, and I live tweet and live post about what's going on, along with millions of other people. The ad that I think is incredible, and maybe half the office thinks is incredible, another office or thousands of other people can think that's the worst thing I ever saw. So everybody's a critic, and you just really hope that you are getting it right. And that's the secret sauce of trying to make sure that you're not being you're not doing a Kendall Jenner with Pepsi, which was probably somebody like me and the team I work with at PureRED. We're thinking, oh, hey, we're going to come up with something that's really relevant right now. And that missed. But a lot of times you come up with something relevant, and that's what your hope is, and you make your brand relevant, and then you have something incredible to show for it. So Peloton, a lot of people love that ad because they said, that's me. I wanted that gift for Christmas or Hanukkah. They asked for it for the holidays, and they didn't understand why that was considered. They were so vilified. But now Peloton's getting the last laugh because they're flying off the shelves. You can't even get one right now. They're back ordered until at least July.
Yeah, that's what's crazy. Sorry, I'm having you. Don't see me, but I'm here.
That's okay.
My camera decided it just wanted to turn off randomly. Gotta love live everything, right? But in all seriousness, that is true the way that you talk about it. Pelotons are very hard to find. There's a lot of weird things that are hard to find right now, including mini HDMI cables sold out around the country. Cameras are going. Canon and Sony and Nikon have reported their mirrorless vlogging cameras are flying off the shelves. It is a crazy situation now, and it's crazy how you wouldn't think that those would be the hot item, but they are, and it's just been one of these weird things that watching this go down has been mind blowing. It's crazy to watch the brands. But you talk about the Super Bowl, so before you go, let's cover one last topic because sports is interesting, and they live and die by their advertising dollars.
They sure do.
In my day side, sports is a big part of our world. A lot of our clients thrive off of TV, especially advertising dollars. So what do you see loss, or how does sports bounce back? Obviously, advertisers thrive on it, but hearing the number on Friday, Major League Baseball said $640,000 a game they're losing in advertising rev alone. And that's out of, I think, 35 Major League Baseball teams. So start putting that together. That's just a little bit of money, right?
Just a little bit of money. And they may have to look at extending their communications into other environments also through social and get more engagement. So people at home who are maybe watching from home can be engaged as if they were at the game. And there are things that MLB can do to get the fans really active and excited and cheering on from home if they can't be in the stands. So I think there's an ad that's right now, and if you're reluctant to say brands, I won't say the brand, but the line is creativity goes on. And that is exactly how any brand, any agency, any company is going to survive this difficult time that we're all in, is that being creative and thinking outside the box. How are we going to promote ourselves? How are we going to sell our product when maybe it's not really a product people need right now? And how are we going to actually, in my business, how are we going to shoot? And when we actually have a plan, we're working with the production company on how to continue servicing our clients as best as possible, and how we can have safe shoot practices too. So creativity goes on, and that is really a part of advertising, but it's what all of our clients are really looking to us, and we're partnering with them to do on their behalf so they can get through this COVID-19, and we all can too, because everyone still needs to buy things. Clients need to sell, consumers need to buy, and we will just find the way to do it in the best way possible for each individual brand.
I love that. You said that loud enough. I think my wife heard. So she's like, don't worry, I got you. We order Amazon every day.
Well, I speak wife. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, she's like, oh, I need to go buy things. The teenager, she popped her head around the corner too. What? Somebody said it's okay to buy? I'm just listening to Dad's guest. Dad's guest said it's okay. We could go buy things.
I'm a New Yorker. I talk loud too, so it's fine.
It's okay.
Thank you.
They can hear me from 800 miles away, they say. But Ellen, I want to thank you for coming on the show. We need to have you back real soon. I love getting into this advertising because we see the news glance over it so quickly, but it's nice to have an expert like you come in and talk about how storytelling and getting creative is very important. So I want to thank you for being a guest today. Hopefully you have yourself a great week, and we'll see you real soon.
You too. Thanks so much.